Words can create worlds. What makes for good writing? We'll find out today on Into the Words. Welcome to Into the Words. I'm your host, Mr. McGrath. We have an excellent fictional narrative from Carol today, titled Henry and the Dog. Watch as we go through how she uses dialogue to build and develop the characters and the story as well. But look at the depth we get of these characters from the way they talk to one another. I should mention as well that her parents are wonderful people. I don't know where she came up with these these characters, but here we are. Carol's story, Henry and the Dog. Henry Donald Patterson, Henry's father said sternly, coming into the kitchen. Henry looked up at his father. "Where is Holly?" he said in a harsher voice. "She's playing in Honeydew Creek." Henry's father burst with fury. "I told you to look after her like a good older brother. There are bears out there." "I'm sorry," Henry whimpered. Henry's mother walked in to check if their supper was burning. She thought it might be burning because she had heard her husband yelling, "Did I burn supper?" "You did not." "Oh, that's a relief." "However, our son is not looking after our sweet baby girl." It was silent in the Patterson household. Then the silence was broken by Mr. Patterson. "If my daughter is dead, I'll whip you to death, Henry Patterson." Mrs. Patterson interrupted. "Edwin, that is too harsh. Please calm down." "I will not! Shut up!" Henry's father's eyes burned with anger. That let Mrs. Patterson know not to say a word. "Go get your sister." Henry rushed outside and ran as fast as his feet could carry him. Trees scratched him as he ran down the hill toward the stream. When he found Holly, she was tossing sticks into the stream. "Come inside before I get killed." "Oh, come on, just a little longer." "No, but no." "You're sounding like Dad." "Come on, please," Henry said. "Okay." "My sweet baby girl, Holly, come to your father." "I'm not a baby anymore, Daddy." "You will always be my baby girl." He turned to Henry and pointed in his face. "Henry, go to your room." When Henry got to his room, he looked out of his window and saw a dog. Henry deliberated if he should climb out his window. They will never know if I climb out the window. So Henry opened the window slowly and climbed out. The dog had black and brown fur. Henry put his hand out and the dog licked it. The dog jumped on Henry and licked him on the face, and that left a thin layer of slobber on Henry's face. "Henry, supper's ready," Henry's mother yelled. "Coming," Henry yelled through the open window. Then he looked at the dog. "I'll see you again, all right? It's a deal. Bye, gotta go." Henry climbed back into his room. Day after day, Henry looked out his window and the dog was not there. I was a foolish boy to think a dog would keep a promise. Well, the promise I made him say. My hopes were up and flowing. "Henry, go fetch us some sticks for the fire. Right now," Henry's father said sternly. "Yes, sir." Henry walked outside and went into the woods. A noise seemed to be coming from a bush about 3 feet away. Out from the bush came the dog. Henry fell to his feet and hugged the dog. "I thought I would never see you again, but here you are." Henry heard his father calling him. "Henry, come back here. We are freezing." So Henry told the dog he would see him again, and he hugged him, said his goodbyes, and ran off. Henry's father kept sending him to do chores, and almost every time he saw the dog. One time, Henry's father sent him to get wire for a fence that needed to be repaired, and the dog came running out of the woods to Henry. Henry was happy to see the dog, but did not want his father to see the dog, so he told the dog to run off. "So, how was the trading today, Edwin?" "It was fine. What did you do?" "Well, I made this meal, and that's mostly what I did." Holly broke in. I was watching Henry do some chores, and Henry watched me play around. So, Henry, you watched your sister. That is something, Henry's father said with a strained smile. Yes, sir. Oh, goodness, what is that smell? Is that the smell of a dog? Henry's mother asked. Henry's father looked at his clothes and in the air. There is some dog hair in the air. It might be me because there are dogs at the market. Have you seen a dog around, children? Henry and his sister said, No, sir. Henry's father said, Well, if you see a dog, tell me. I want to catch it. We can't have wild dogs running around, all right? Yes, sir. Now, be a good boy while I'm at work. Yes, sir. You can count on me. Henry was afraid that his father would find out about the dog, and if that happened, his father would hurt the dog. He also knew that if his father found out he had lied, he would get hit with the belt. The next day, Henry's father asked Henry, Do you want to have a father-son bonding trip? I thought that we could hike out to the deep wooded area of our property. I could teach you the ropes with hunting. Henry smiled and thought that if the dog was in the woods, his father would catch it, or worse. Well, I am very busy with chores. I'll take those chores away. Are you making excuses, Henry? No, sir. I'll come, Dad. Good boy. Well then, let's pack. Henry, do you know how to make a fire? No, sir. Well, I will teach you then. Henry felt like a bird with a broken wing as his father talked on and on about guns. Then the dog came bounding out of the bushes. The dog jumped on Henry. Henry had mixed emotions. He felt both scared and happy to see the dog because his father would most likely get rid of the dog. He felt happy because it was the dog he loved. Henry, am I in my right mind? Is there a dog in front of my eyes? Yes, sir, there is a dog. Does this dog know you by any chance? Yes, sir, this dog knows me. His father thought for a while. Well, when I was a boy, I always wanted a dog. Henry did not know what to say. Henry's father went on, We are not going to keep this dog, but maybe someday we can get one. Henry half smiled. This doesn't mean you're off the hook, young man. More chores and work, said Henry's father, earnestly trying to be nice. Henry could not hide his anger. I'm sorry I deserve more chores, Henry said, holding back tears. If his father saw his weakness, he would scold him. But he couldn't hold back the tears for long, and buried his face in the dog's neck, crying, saying over and over, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. When they returned home, the smell of beef stew and bread were in the air. Back so soon? Their mother asked. Holly jumped up. Doggy! Why is there a dog in my house? Henry's father said. I'll explain later. Now, what's for supper? Wow, what a fabulous story. Henry and the dog from Carol. And I hope you saw how she used the dialogue to really develop all the relationships there and how powerful dialogue is in a fictional narrative and how it can really keep things moving and keep that plot going. Well, I hope you got an awful lot out of that, and I will see you again next time we delve into the words.